Mary Lewinsky continued to work industriously hard, and every day she would go out working, and every day she would put aside most of her money, until one day in the newspapers on the front page, it had this fantastic story about Mary Lewinsky. Now you might wonder why. Here was a housekeeper who had worked hard all her life. Why would her story be on the front page of the New York Times? Well, on the front page it read, "Housekeeper saves $5,000. Now, in 1910, 1920, $5,000 was equivalent to our $1 million now. So for a housekeeper to save that amount of money was quite an accomplishment. And that's what won Langston Hughes a storytelling contest while he was in high school, and the poet of his high school. He became the poet laureate of Harlem. He traveled throughout the world, all parts of Asia, Africa, the United States, Australia, South America. He was known around the world, and he was loved by a number of people. I'll tell you a little bit more about him later.
Thank you, Dr. Joyce.
Thank you. Thelma, you have another story for us?
Yes.
Or a poem?
Yes. I have another one that reminds me of Mary Lewinsky.
Oh, great.
Yes, and this one was written by Alice Walker.
Oh, my.
And I think Mary Lewinsky might say, yeah, I think that's true. Never, 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 never offer your heart to someone who eats hearts, who finds heart meat delicious but not rare, who sucks the juices drop by drop and bloody chin grins like a god. Never offer your heart to a heart gravy lover. Your stewed, overseasoned heart consumed, they will sop up your grief with bread and send it shuttling in their mouth from side to side like bubble gum. If you find yourself in love with a person who eats hearts, these things you must do. Freeze your heart immediately so that the next time they examine your chest, they will find your heart cold, flinty, and unappetizing. Refrain from kissing, lest in revenge they dampen the spark in your soul. Now sail away to Africa, where holy men and holy women await you on shore, long having practiced the art of replacing hearts with God and song. Alice Walker, never offer your heart to someone who eats hearts. Would you like another one?
We would love another one, Thelma, please.
This is in a different vein. This is also Alice Walker. And this is called Live by the Word. The universe sends me fabulous dreams. Early this morning, I dreamed of a two-headed woman, literally a wise woman. She was stout, graying, caramel-colored with blue-gray eyes, wearing a blue flowered dress, who was giving advice to people, some white people too, I think. Her knowledge was for everyone, and it was all striking. While one had talked, the other seemed to doze. I was so astonished. For what I realized in the dream is that two-headedness was at one time an actual physical condition. And and that two-headed people were considered wise. Perhaps this accounts for the adage, two heads are better than one. What I think this means is that two-headed people have been suppressed, and in their case, suppressed out of existence. Their very appearance have made them abnormal and therefore subject to extermination. For surely two-headed people have existed, and it is only among blacks, to my knowledge, that a trace of their existence is left in the language. Root workers, healers, wise people with second sight are called two-headed people. This two-headed woman was amazing. I asked whether the world would survive, and she said no. And her expression seemed to say, the way it is going, there's no need for it to. When I asked her what we should do, she took up her walking stick and walked expressively and purposely across the room, dipping a little bit from side to side. She said, live by the word and keep walking. Alice Walker.
Well, thank you so much, Thelma Ruffin Thomas. That was wondrous, wondrous. Owusu Slater, more about Garifuna women.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Joyce, again. Going back in time, I remember some sterling contribution made by a few women. One, I remember as a young boy, there was this police woman named Miss Prescott. Matter of fact, the history book would show that she was the first policewoman in the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Royal Police Force. She had a stature, and even though her height, her build sometimes might be intimidating, she was a wonderful person. She had a social work background. She was a midwife as well and practiced these things. But the way how she would handle juveniles, I remember parents who couldn't handle it, little boys or the juvenile, would go to Miss Prescott. She said, I would put Miss Prescott on you. And Bucket and Shaw, Miss Prescott would pay a special attention to you. And you dare not misbehave. You would walk the right way. So she made a sterling contribution in a social work concept, in that she took a different approach in bringing young juveniles on the right road. And I understand a few weeks ago she passed away, so I would just give the family my condolence and say how a wonderful person she was. There was some other striking woman. I remember there was a woman whose name was Ivy Joshua. Matter of fact, she was the first politician in that country. She was wife to the Chief Minister, E.T. Joshua. And Joshua was powerful. Why? Because there's a scene behind every great man. There's a woman. So there it is. She had helped to develop the Women's League, the women's organization, and she became so popular and gained the confidence of the people that eventually she ran for a seat and was elected. Of course, is a woman back in the day, and all kind of the degrading remarks was thrown at her. They call her all kinds of names, but nevertheless, she stood her ground. She wasn't the best in Parliament to articulate the views of the government, but she articulated the views of the people. And I think in essence, that's what a politician is supposed to be. You're supposed to serve the people and articulate the voice of the people. So Ivy Joshua was one of those unsung heroes. Thank you.
Oh, that's so good to know. Thank you, Owusu. So please take us out with your magnificent drumming.
Sure.
All right. Thank you.
You have any special events coming up soon?
Oh, we certainly do. Thank you for asking. February at Thelma's Salon, it will have love stories on Sunday, February 28th from 3 to 5 at 365 West 28th Street. It's right off 9th Avenue, between 8th and 9th Avenue, apartment number 2E, as in excellent, eloquent, and elaborate. On the 26th, we'll be at 1199. March 26th will be at 1199. March 2nd will be at Sisters Uptown Bookstore from 7 to 10 p.m. And that's 1942 Amsterdam Avenue from 7 to 10. On March 25th will be at New York Life, and on March 26th will be at 1199 at 310 West 43rd Street from 6 to 8 p.m. in their art gallery. So those are some of the events that we have coming up. So please come on out, be with us, share the good times together with us. Thank you for asking.
Okay. Always good to hear it.
Later. So
thank
good
you.
to be here.
Thank you all for coming again and delighting us with all your stories and all your history and representing the women, especially women of color. We really appreciate all this information, and thank you so much for coming.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Okay, this is all we have today for you, and we'll have some other shows soon. And thank you for coming. This is Positive Choices, and I'm Mother Nature, and I'm so glad to share with you all this special information that I didn't even know about, and I'm quite sure most of you didn't know about it either. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Should try to listen to your kind of